So, I've heard you kind of speak. I think it was in a blog post, Bill, in terms of the REEP fallacy. So,
Yeah.
can you just kind of explain what that is for those listening, and yeah, where that came from, really?
Yeah, I've got a very high regard for Charles Reep. When read his life story, and how he was an accountant that worked with the RAF, and he started to follow football and became entranced by the tactical side of football back in the early 30s, listening to, I think he went to a talk by the then captain of Arsenal. And then he started to collect data. And he did it paper and pencil. And just as we emerged after the Second World War, and then floodlights came, part of the stories, you'd see him in a miner's hat with a lamp at night games with a paper and pencil. He had a miner's hat with lamp and he gathered an amazing amount of data. And it sounds like almost every game that was ever on TV, World Cup games, FA Cup games, and so on, he had his system for annotating and that. And he published 2 or 3 articles statistically. But interestingly, I don't know if you know, the very first club that took any notice of him back in the early 50s was a certain club called Brentford. They were in the old First Division and threatened with relegation. And he'd started his analysis, and the manager of Brentford at the time brought him in, and basically he espoused, well, look, the evidence is that more goals are scored when there are fewer passes in the move. So, effectively, the more direct play in the long ball game is more effective. And that's the game that Brentford introduced for the second half of the season and avoided relegation.